Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, Shades of Neen, where we do beauty on a budget. Our aim here is to find cheap, affordable makeup for everyday use. If that sounds good to you, please click that subscribe button and give me a big thumbs up. Today's video is something that I started on Instagram. It was just a little project so I could get more use out of the brands that I've already purchased. So I did a 7-day challenge on a full face of one brand. So I did from day 1 to 6, but then unfortunately we had something happen in the family, so I wasn't able to complete day 7, which was yesterday. So today we're going to be doing day 7 on camera, and I will put up a full compilation of all the days and the looks that I came up with. So without further ado, let's get into it. Firstly, we're going to just pop up all the clips of what I've done for the last 6 days, so have a look, and then we'll complete day 7 on camera right here with a full tutorial. So this is day 1 and this is the look that I've created. Sorry, I'm still in my pajamas, but yeah, I'm just getting ready now, and yeah, this is what I've come up with. We'll see what we can do in the next 6 days, but we'll find out. So this is day 2 and this is the look I've come up with. I'm actually going out, so it was pretty limiting, but we did it. Day 3, and this is the look that we've come up with. A little bit of a halo eye. It is getting quite difficult now because it's so limiting and I'm just using browns and oranges, but 4 more days to go. Day 4, and this is the look we've come up with. Sorry, I'm a bit dehydrated today, so my face is a bit puffy, but I'm heading out with my mum for some shopping. But yeah, this is what we've done. 3 more days to go. Day 5, and this is the look we've come up with. It is very plain Jane, simple. I just put some gloss on because I'm not doing anything today. I've just been editing most of the day. So yeah, 2 more days to go. I'm getting really bored, so hopefully these next 2 days go really fast. So this is day 6, so excited. Tomorrow is our last day, but this is what we've come up with. It's a little bit different, but also simple, so yeah, 1 more day to go. So starting off, the first thing I would usually do is just take this concealer and use it as an eye primer. So I don't usually use concealer anymore, but because I'm trying to get the most out of this brand, I've just been using that to prime and prep the lids. I just put some on my hand, which I think is much better than applying it straight to your eyelids, and I'm just going to pat out my eyelid just to make sure that it's not too oily, because I did just use some eye cream. So I'm just going to pat this on. So those are the eyelids prepped. I just rubbed them out nicely, so we're just going to give them a second just to dry down slightly. And while we do that, I usually just go in with some primer. So this is just the Olivia Hale primer, and I'd usually squeeze some on my hand, rub it between my fingers, and dab that onto my skin, not rubbing it too much because it seems to lift then. So I just pat it all onto my face. So we'll just leave that to dry down while we continue on with the eye. As you remember from the video, looks a mess now because I've been using it every single day. So that is what it looks like. I have made some significant progress in it, I think. You can see some dents in some of those. So yeah, those are the colors I preferred. Also, these shades on this side, or those three, are not very pigmented at all. It's just like white powder with a bit of shimmer in it. So I wasn't really using many of those. I did try. I think I used it on day 1 and day 5. Maybe even 6, but yeah, they're not nice at all. For eyebrows, I also got this Olivia Hale pen, which I loved at the time because it wasn't too pigmented and it would just fill my brows in really nicely. But it's a really hard crayon, so it's broken as well. The nib has come out, so I'll just draw a couple of lines on my hand here. As you can see, not much. So it was really hard and it was actually starting to hurt me, so I stopped using it. Instead, I would just take a angled brush and dip into the dark brown in this palette. So that's what we're going to do first before we get into the eyeshadow. So I wasn't really that active or going out anywhere particularly, so I just fill in my brows, no definition or such, but I just lightly fill them in just to look good on camera, to be honest. Next, I go in with the brow gel. It is a clear brow gel, but because obviously the pigment and it goes onto the wand and the wand goes back in here, it has slightly changed color. The consistency is really strange. I did initially like it, but it doesn't really hold my brows up at all. You'll see by the end of the video they would have fallen down again. So there's no ingredient list on it, so you don't even know what exactly is in the product. And yeah, it doesn't feel jelly at all, to be honest. It's just like a weird coating, kind of like the primer. The primer is just silicone based. It smells like chemicals and my skin is actually hating it. I've broken out quite a bit. So next we're going to move into eyeshadow. Like I said, this is the only product we've been using all week and it has been tough. I don't know what I want to do today. I'm again not really doing much. I'm just gonna make some dinner because my mom's coming home tonight. So firstly, I'm just gonna take a flat fluffy brush, and I usually would go in with this brown over here, and again just patting out in case it has creased. I think I might just do a halo eye. I think that was my favorite out of the 7 days, so we might just try that again. So just covering my entire lid with that to make the other shadows a bit more blendable. Next, just grabbing another fluffy brush, I'm going to go in with this slightly darker brown over there, and that I'm going to run straight through the crease only. So starting at the end, as we always do, to get the darkest payoff there, because where you put your brush down, that's where you get the darkest color payoff. Next, I'm just going to take a fluffy angled brush. I always thought my mirror was the palette. A fluffy angled brush, and we're going to dip into this orange over here. You can see I've had the most use out of the orange just because it's a little bit more wearable than the rest of the shades. And that we're just going to place on the outer corner and blend that again just along the crease. Next, I'm just going to take a small domed brush, which is a little bit more precise, and we're going to dip into this maroony shade over here. So I'm just going to place that on the outer corner of my actual eye, not taking it any further, and concentrating that on the lid and slightly above the crease. As you can see, the blendability of these shadows are not amazing. Then I'm going to dip in again and just place that in the inner corner of the eye, again on the lid and slightly up to the crease. Then we're just going to join those two and just go over the top in the crease over there. Then just grabbing a sponge applicator, I'm gonna dip into, let's do gold today. I'm gonna dip into this gold shade over here it looks so nice and foiled in the pan, but it doesn't translate like that at all. And the actual pans are packed so strangely that when you dip your sponge or brush into it, it kind of just separates apart, which isn't nice. But you know, you can't really tell all of this straight off a first impression. You have to actually get to know the product a little bit better. So I'm just patting this gold on the center of the eye, and as you can see, not much payoff at all. And my eyes are so sensitive after using all of these products that I actually cannot put any setting spray on my eye. It just irritates it so much. So just placing that in that little gap we had available, and again taking it slightly above my crease because, like I said, I have hooded eyes. You should all know that by now. And that's the eyeshadow complete. Next, I would usually go in with the liquid liner and the mascara. I keep saying mascara and mascara, but unfortunately I've had some really bad irritation on my eye. I had some swelling on my tear duct, as well as some redness. I'm not sure if you can still tell, but my eye is really red, and I'm 100% sure it is this, because since I stopped using it, my eye irritation has come down a lot. I have been using some drops as well, but I refuse to put this back on my eye because I'm not suffering like I did again. So I'm just going to jump off camera, put on some mascara and some liquid liner from another brand, and we'll come back and complete this look. Just for informational purposes, the mascara I used is the PS Amplified False Lash Mascara from Primark, and the liquid liner I used was Makeup Gallery Pro Liquid Liner from Poundland. So next we'll move on to complexion, because I'm sure the silicone has sunken into my skin. This is the Olivia Hale BB cream that I've been using all week. It's so deceiving because this actually has a sticker on it. It actually isn't the shade that's inside, because the shade inside is so red. I mentioned this in my first video, I know, but honestly it is so red, and I don't know how they call this a BB cream because it's so thick as well. But you know, super troopers, we just keep trooping forward. And I'm just going to apply that all over the face with my damp beauty blender. So I usually cover my ears as well, and then take it down the neck, because like I said, it doesn't really suit my skin tone. I don't know how noticeable it is on camera, but it definitely is noticeable in real life. So I'm not sure if you can tell, but I'll zoom you in a little bit. But look what my face looks like. I look like a freaking strawberry. It just emphasizes texture so much. For some reason I'm getting like this weird stuff on my nose over here, and I thought maybe I had some burst vessels or something, but when I take the makeup off, it's gone. I think I have completely changed my opinion on this product, and I don't know what's going on, but I definitely would not recommend. Next we're gonna move on to some concealer. So I showed you this already. It is the Olivia Hale concealer in the shade Oatmeal. I didn't tell you this shade is just medium. I don't know how, but it's more like red. Anyway, so as we always do with concealer, just some over here. I think we've made a huge dent in the concealer, to be honest, because I'm like currently scraping the sides, and the concealer was not my favorite because it isn't as full coverage, but once again it is a very wet formula, so I like to just wait a second to let that dry down. So grabbing the end of my sponge, like I always do, the pointy part, will start blending on the chin first, but in the nose crevice over here and down my smile line. So I'm just going to jump off camera and just set my face with some powder, as I didn't buy any from this brand. So I'm going to do that first and then we'll continue on. Again, for informational purposes, I used this PS Blurred Out finishing powder from Primark, and honestly I use it almost every single day. It is my favorite powder thus far. Next we're gonna move on to bronzer. So we're almost at the end of this, so just bear with me. This is the Olivia Hale bronzer in medium. It is a bit light for me, but I don't mind it at all. So I'm just going to take a angled brush. Sorry, my brushes need to be cleaned, but I've been using the same products for 7 days, so not the end of the world. Puckering up and just placing it over there so you can hardly even see it, and the same on the side, and then forehead like we always do. Then I'm just going to take a slightly fluffier brush and we're just going to buff that out slightly and add a tiny bit of product to that just to deepen it up. Moving on to some highlight. This is the one I got from Olivia Hale, like I said, and it is Golden Glow. It does have really big flecks of glitter in it, as you can see, and it's doing this weird thing, like my brushes are never wet when I put them into a palette, and it's just like, so it's doing this weird thing where it's like clumping up in the middle. I have no idea why. So I'm just gonna pick some of that up, tap off most of that glitter pigment, and we're gonna place it on the cheekbone. I did also initially really like this, but now as you can see it's basically just sitting on top of the skin. It's not really going anywhere. It's not that I completely take it back, I just think it's because I've been wearing it every day that I'm noticing some preference changes maybe that I have. But for £1.99 this isn't terrible. I wouldn't say don't buy it, it just depends on your preference. And just some on my inner third of my eye just to highlight the inner corner. I mean, it is a pretty highlight if you take it at face value. It really is. It's nice and golden, and it's just the big flecks of glitter that I don't like, but the shimmer is really pretty. The problem lies in the next product. So this is the Olivia Hale blusher, obviously, and the shade in this is called Rosy. Yeah, it's just called Rosy. So again, it has the same little bumps in it. Again, I don't use any wet brushes in it, so I don't understand why the product is pulling up. But just getting my blush brush, giving it a swirl, tapping off that excess, and we'll place that between the bronzer and the highlight. So just overlapping that highlight like I like to do, and taking it all the way to the temple just so it blends nicely up there. So lastly we just have the lips, so that's exciting, as this is the last day I'll be using all of these products. I'll keep some of them in my collection obviously, but we'll discuss that in final thoughts. I'm not sure if you guys remember, but it was a lip duo in the shade Cinnamon. It is a matte lipstick and it comes with a lip liner. So just quickly lining the lips. I do like the formula on this lip liner. It is really creamy, really smooth, and I would definitely recommend this. And then the lipstick. And I like to just finish it off, even though this is not part of the brand. I just like to finish it with a bit of this Model's Own lip gloss, just to give it a little bit of something. I guess, like I said, because I've been using it for 7 days, it's been so boring. I've had to find ways to make it a little bit more interesting. So I'm going to take down my hair quickly and we'll do some final thoughts. Okay, so final thoughts. 7-day challenge. It was challenging. I'm not going to lie, it is very boring. I like neutral makeup looks, but not the same thing every day. It was so demotivating just because I had to wear the same thing the whole time. There's 12 shades, but not all of it is user-friendly. So I'll probably pass this palette on to my mom because she really did like the color, so I think I'm going to do that. But if I would buy, would I buy it again? Probably not. The eyebrow pencil, like I showed you, it is really hard, and it feels like there's like a hard bit down the middle, like that's kind of like an HB pencil. Anyway, that's a no for the pencil as well. I mean, I only got one use out of it for this whole week just because it hurt my eyebrows, so I ended up just using the powder in the palette like I did. The mascara and eyeliner, like I said, allergic reaction, so no. I was warned about using more affordable or cheap brands and that it might do that, so that's a no for that. I don't know if my mom will want to use it, but she can, otherwise in the bin. The concealer, the primer, and the BB cream. The BB cream, like I said, is a red undertone, so it doesn't look as bad now because I powdered it down, but no, the coverage is really good for a BB cream though. It's thick and it's basically full coverage, but like I said, the undertone, because not all dark people or brown people have a red undertone. And then the primer is basically just silicone. It doesn't really do much, it stinks, and yeah, nope. The concealer is almost finished, and I think I will finish it. I can use it for, you know, cut creases, or just if I have somewhere to go really quickly and don't need to do a full face, and then I'll use these. But I definitely will finish this one for sure. The lip products were some of my favorites. Obviously I still would get some use out of this. I'm just really bored with it now, so probably a good thing I take a break. And then we have the brow gel, which is basically non-existent, so no from me for that as well. Anyway guys, that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a little bit different from what I usually do, but I really just enjoyed playing with some makeup and getting to know the brand a bit better, and now I can make a definitive opinion about it. And it's not the best, honestly. I mean, I was really excited when I bought it because I bought a full face for like £21, and I was really stoked about that. But honestly, now, because I've experienced some better brands, I think that I wouldn't repurchase. But let me know if you guys want to see me do any other 7-day challenges. Pick a brand out of all the playlists I have. Go look around and see what you'd want me to use. You don't have to do a full brand. You can just choose a couple of products, and I'll try and use them for 7 days. Well, not a couple of products, full face of products, and I'll use them for 7 days. If not, I'll just come up with some of my own. But let me know if you guys like this video and what you think, and if you thought it was a good idea just to give the product more of a chance. But yeah, please like, subscribe, and share with all your friends. Please follow me over on Instagram, and it's been great again spending some time with you guys. Like I said, something did happen in my family this week. Unfortunately, my grandma passed away, so this is for her. I love you, mama, and rest in peace. But that's it from me, guys. Bye.